Ohio State's spring football game, I don't even remember who won between the Scarlet and the Gray, but I think the offense won on both sides of the ball. So Ari, Bill, Doug, why did the offense look better than the defense on Saturday here in Ohio Stadium?
Well, I think that there's a lot of talent in the secondary. Well, actually, I think it's a huge conspiracy because the last time Ohio State played football, they scored 0 points, so they wanted to light it up.
I'll buy it.
What I really think is that they had a lot of defensive backs rotating and a lot of young guys playing on the defense, and I feel like even though the wide receivers in the past haven't flashed the way that Ohio State fans would have liked them to see, there's still more experience in a setting like this. And I think when they're rotating new guys, a lot of early enrollees in the defense, I thought that people were open all day, and that was like my first take from the entire game. And I think part of the reason why the offense was able to move the ball so good is because, one, the quarterbacks aren't allowed to be hit, so they might get an extra split second to throw it, and two, I think the receivers are just more experienced than the defensive backs right now.
Bill, why?
One thing stuck out to me with the passing game, and it wasn't the deep ball. They threw it more, and that was good to see, I suppose. The thing that stuck out to me the most was they were hitting the receivers in positions to like keep running when you have the ball, which is such a simple thing to say. But last year, every time a guy caught a ball, he was stationary and like coming back to the play. And I don't know why that was. The passing game, I don't know if more sophisticated is the way to put it, but a lot of crossing routes, some rub routes, like guys designing plays to get guys open, and then designing those plays in a way that after they catch the ball, they can keep going after they catch it. And that's how you create big plays. It's not just throwing the ball 60 yards down the sideline. It's catching it over the middle and then running 20 yards after you catch it.
And I think that's the whole thing of, like, how can you tell what Kevin Wilson's fingerprint is? Indiana was really good at that because I think at times Indiana lacked athleticism with some of the opponents they did. So what they had to do was scheme up to try to get these guys into open space, and if they can break one tackle, pick up an extra 15 yards. Last year, that wasn't the case at all. In the spring game, I think that you've seen a little bit more of an evolution in the offensive game plan.
I will admit that I saw this on Twitter. People smarter than me were tweeting about this, that the Buckeyes were running routes at 3 different levels and putting pressure on the defense to make some decisions there, which is a good sign for the fall too. But one of the things is they play press man coverage here, which you can't do that unless you have great corners. And so when you have Garyon Conley and Marshawn Lattimore, and they'll be fine in the fall because Denzel Ward and Damon Arnett and the good guys can do it, when you're not one of the starters, you can look not that good because there's a lot of stuff where you're one-on-one, there's a ball in the air, and you're caught trying to find the ball, and the receiver's making a play, and all of a sudden it's a 40-yard touchdown. And that happened a bunch just because you get there's no help. There's no reads. It's just you covering a guy, and you're new and you haven't done it, and you can't do it. So the DBs lost a lot of one-on-one matchups, as you said. Bill, Ari, Doug, that's it for Ohio State spring football. But are we done? We're never done.